The Devil All the Time has a rating of 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb based on ratings from over 180,000 users. Since it was a Netflix release, the exact box office collection isn't available. The film, directed by Antonio Campos and based on the novel by Donald Ray Pollock, is a dark and intricate tale set in the rural backwoods of Ohio and West Virginia. The story spans from the end of World War II to the 1960s, weaving together the lives of several characters marked by violence, faith, and a struggle for redemption. The film begins with Willard Russell, a war veteran deeply scarred by his experiences in the Pacific Theater. Upon returning to his hometown of Knockemstiff, Ohio, he falls in love with Charlotte, a waitress at a local diner. They marry and have a son, Arvin. Willard, haunted by the images of war and driven by a fervent but twisted sense of religious duty, sets up a prayer log in the woods where he conducts brutal, sacrificial rituals. When Charlotte falls ill with cancer, Willard's faith becomes even more desperate and deranged. Despite his fervent prayers and sacrifices, Charlotte dies, leading Willard to take his own life in despair. Orphaned, young Arvin is sent to live with his grandmother, Emma, in Coal Creek, West Virginia. There, Arvin finds a semblance of family with Emma and his stepsister, Lenora, who was also taken in by Emma after her mother, Helen, was murdered by her preacher husband. Roy had become a fanatic, believing he could resurrect Helen through prayer, only to flee in horror after realizing the fatality of his delusions. As Arvin grows up, he becomes fiercely protective of Lenora, who endures bullying at school and the unwanted advances of Reverend Preston Teagarden, a charismatic but sinister new preacher in town. Teagarden seduces and impregnates Lenora, who, in her shame and confusion, hangs herself, believing she has sinned. Arvin discovers Teagarden's manipulation and decides to take justice into his own hands, confronting and killing the preacher. Meanwhile, the story intertwines with the lives of Carl and Sandy Henderson, a twisted couple who pick up hitchhikers, photograph them in sexually compromising positions, and then murder them. Sandy's brother, Deputy Sheriff Lee Boddicker, is a corrupt lawman aspiring to higher office, willing to cover up his sister's crimes to protect his career. As Arvin's path of vengeance intersects with the Hendersons, he becomes entangled in their web of violence. Arvin, now on the run, encounters Carl and Sandy. A deadly confrontation ensues, ending with both Carl and Sandy dead. Arvin, wounded but alive, manages to escape. He eventually finds himself hitchhiking, pondering his future and the possibility of redemption as he heads towards an uncertain destination, hoping to find some semblance of peace after a life marred by so much brutality and loss. The film paints a grim portrait of life in the Appalachian region, exploring themes of inherited violence, the corrupting power of unchecked authority, and the complexities of faith. Each character's journey is a testament to the pervasive darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives, leaving viewers with a haunting meditation on the nature of evil and the possibility of redemption in a world filled with moral ambiguity.